I am an Iranian citizen and a US citizen. In fact, my Iranian passport says issued in Washington, D.C. But regardless, entering Iran was really smooth, no questions. In fact, I had my baggage and was past security faster than most other places. Now, once you're at the airport to the actual city center, it's another about an hour drive, and there's a couple ways you can go about it. There are actually official taxis, which I highly recommend, and they'll give you a little receipt to the location you're going to, and that is the amount that you'll pay the driver. Or you can use Snap. Snap is Iran's version of Uber or Grab. They actually have an app, but this is one of those things that getting a local to help you set up is going to be a lot easier. They do have like English language within it. It's how I use to get cars and motorbike taxis around. But if you're just arriving, official taxi might be the way to go. Now onto accommodation. Typically, I'm going directly and staying with family, and I did do that this time as well. But I also really wanted to experience Iran as tourists do. So I also visited hostels, which is a great way to meet other travelers and experience that side of the city. There's a bunch of Iranian hostels listed on Hostel World, and a few of them you can even book directly from the website using an international card, but otherwise it's typically sending them an email, and then once you arrive you'll pay. I tried out Tehran Heritage Hostel, which was a really cool vibe, and then also Z Hostel, which I love. Here's an area where you can relax and meet other travelers, and here's a good place to work or eat. And here in the kitchen you can store or prepare your food. There are private rooms like this one, and of course dorms. Staff there was really friendly, and I got to meet other travelers there as well. And honestly, I highly encourage staying at hostel because hostels usually have great locations, giving you easy access to the best parts of a city. But the best part of hostels is meeting travelers from all around the world.
Hola, soy Hugo de México. Bienvenidos a Tehran.
Yeah, I think that's good. Thank you.
No problem.
And really, I think Iran is one of those places to fully experience. You need to be connected to locals and have them show you the sides of the city that you're interested in seeing. Iran in general has a lot to offer, but not all of it is unfortunately obvious. On the topic of food, as a foreign traveler, Iran is a paradise. Even as a vegan, there were plenty of options. Visited tons of amazing cafes, including Nature, Mehr Mita, Zamin, Pure, and my personal favorite, Khane Honarmandan. Really amazing food. And of course, if you have the Snap app, then you can very easily order food or even groceries. I even ordered vegan groceries. There's tons of selectivity, and the prices are very good if you're using a foreign currency. That's important to state because from a local perspective, these prices are very high, and with the inflation, they're only getting higher. Now, as far as payment goes, this is where Iran in general gets a little bit tricky. Iran is going very cashless, so not everybody really likes accepting cash. Now, if you're a foreigner or tourist or traveler, I think people are more understanding of that. But if you can somehow get a card, it's very useful. Again, because I'm Iranian, I signed up for something called Blue Bank, and it's very useful. They have like an app, and you can do transfers on there. You can buy data for SIM cards on there. You do need Iranian ID, but it was a very fast process. They delivered me a card in a few days, and now I have that whenever I need to make transactions. And I think there are actually banks that provide cards to foreigners, even if you're staying with a tour or a hostel or whatever. I'm sure they can guide you through that process. But if you can get some kind of card, it's just going to make life and travel in Iran a lot simpler. But yeah, as far as money, you're not going to be able to use any of your international cards, so you really need to bring as much money as you need within cash and then exchange it there. The rate that you see on Google or other exchanges also is probably wrong. I mean, right now Google is showing that $1 is 42,000 Iranian rial, when the reality is closer to 800,000 Iranian rial or 80,000 Taman. At least right now, at the time I was there, it was around 60,000. Inflation is very high in Iran, but again, if you're at a hostel or anything like that, they can really help guide you on that case. Now, on the topic of internet SIM cards, right at the airport, you can get a SIM card, and data and internet is very cheap and affordable in Iran. One thing to note is eSIM is not available in Iran or not readily available. So if you have like an iPhone that doesn't accept a physical SIM, then you probably need to use something like this, which is a hotspot device. I actually bought this one from Iran, but you can find similar devices on Amazon or wherever you are. It's an absolute reality in Iran. There's internet censorship, Instagram, WhatsApp, all these things are very popular. Everybody, and I mean everybody across the political spectrum, uses VPNs. Now, I am a digital nomad, so I was also on the search for possible co-working places, and there are a bunch. There's one called Half the Hashed, which I really like the vibe of, and there's even like a free space in the Galleria Mall that has unlimited fast Wi-Fi, but that one gets kind of busy. But typically I ended up using a cafe that was well located and just using my hotspot. I made friends at the hostel. I also have local friends and family in Tehran, and like always, they were very supportive and showing me around. Really, if there's any anything you take away from this video, it's that Iranians are some of the most hospitable people in the world, and if you go there, they're going to take care of you, they're going to show you their city, and they're going to make sure that you have a good time. With my friends, I was able to see sides of the city that I hadn't seen before, or it was a long time since I had seen, including the old royal palaces like Gulistan Palace. Welcome to Tehran's Gulistan Palace. Originally dating back to the 16th century and renovated in the 18th under Nasr ad-Din Shah of the Qajar dynasty. It holds a great collection of Persian artworks, paintings, marble carvings, and mirror works. It's a remarkable reminder of Iran's deep creative historical heritage. Definitely worth seeing. And I got to explore some structures that really gave me an appreciation for how Iran has come to where it is now, including the former US Embassy.
This is the Embassy of the United States in Tehran, the former Embassy of the United States. Now turned into a museum called the Den of Spies.
With a touch of slightly intense messaging.
2 days earlier, several hundred young people, mainly students at Tehran University, have taken over the embassy.
I also visited the last king's intelligence prison, the Savak prison.
This is the former prison of Savak, Iran's central intelligence under the Shah.
And that was really interesting to see where all the political prisoners of that time were kept and tortured. It really gave me perspective. You know, revolutions happen. Entertainment-wise, there's also plenty to do, and this is where, again, having local friends becomes very helpful. A friend invited me to watch a theater production with them of The Little Prince, and that was a really beautiful experience. There's so many beautiful creative events happening in Tehran, and it's just a matter of making those connections and making those friends. I also really recommend visiting the parks. There's such interesting places, especially on Friday, which is the day off in Iran, and in the evenings there's people out and about, dancing, singing. I mean, it's a whole side of Tehran that you wouldn't believe exists.
So I didn't know this was a thing, but in the morning there's like all these groups in this park exercising together with music. So many sides of Tehran and Iran that I think people don't know exist, and not a lot of it is not like easy to film because of reasons, obvious reasons.
From a fitness perspective, the parks are also amazing. You'll see tons of people running in the parks, men and women. There are a lot of great places for fitness. I visited Park Accommodation with my friend Amir Makes.
One of Iran's great YouTubers. Definitely check him out. And yeah, we're running. It's very hot. We should have come sooner. But it's a nice park.
And that has a really great trail for walking around. And then later, my friend Shervin Shares was also visiting Tehran, and me and Amir Shervin did a run around Cheetgar Lake, which is a man-made lake that is absolutely gorgeous and you should definitely check out. We also explored Bashgah Inqilab, which is this huge sports complex.
One of the famous places for sports in Tehran, and it's pretty impressive so far. You'll see the start of it. They got a golf course over here, really good running track.
And it's a kind of a liberal vibe and very cool place to hang out. Highly recommend checking that place out too. It was also just really interesting to walk around Tehran and appreciate how much Tehran and Iran have changed and how fast they have changed. Like the way men and women interact, women dressing a lot more freely than they did in the past. And in some parts of the city it was far more visible than others, including the cafes, the parks, and some of the malls. But still, there was a lot of government messaging enforcing the hijab. Now, this experience in Tehran actually spanned across 2 visits in 2024 between mid-April and late June. So a lot has changed in Iran even since then. You know, there's a lot of difficulty in living in Iran, especially with the state of the economy, restrictive government policies. I believe in the people of Iran. The people of Iran make me hopeful. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful culture. And I really want more and more of you to go experience it. During my trip to Iran, I also visited Yazd and Shiraz, so I'll have videos on those coming soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.